What's up, you guys? It's Cody, your favorite Utah realtor. In this video, we're talking about the housing inventory here in Utah. We're going to be looking at what's happening in Utah and even Idaho because we've got some really important stats that just came out, and we're actually going to take a look at the month-to-date data for the month of June here in Utah. We're going to talk about the sales. I'm going to give you an update on what you need to know about this in the market. So let's jump into my computer here and actually take a look at what we have here. So this article says, housing market, Utah and Idaho see more inventory as rates strangle buyers. So we've talked about this a lot on the channel here recently. The interest rates are going up. In fact, they're almost at 6.5%, despite being at the 3 to 3.5% range just a couple of months ago. So interest rates have gone up substantially, but we are seeing more homes come onto the market because of that. All right, so if we scroll down a little bit here, you can see that I've got these different points highlighted, and that's gonna help us pick out the most important information here in this article. As would-be homebuyers are getting turned off or priced out by climbing mortgage rates, the housing market is cooling, leading to a boost in home inventory. As a result, Utah's major metro area of Salt Lake City was one of the top housing markets in the nation to see the biggest boost to year-over-year inventory last month for the month of May. That's according to the latest figures here from RE/MAX, which released its May National Housing Market Report. Salt Lake City saw a 110% change in its year-over-year month supply of housing inventory compared to May of 2021. I've talked about this before. At the beginning of May of this year, we actually saw that we were sitting at about 2,500 listings overall, which is very similar to what it was in May of last year. And by the end of May this year, we saw those listings climb to over 5,000 homes that were actively listed. Salt Lake City's May 2022 month supply of inventory was 0.9, up from 0.4. That figure is the total number of residential properties listed for sale at the end of the month, which is the current inventory, divided by the number of sales contracts signed during that month. So the number of homes that are on the market as current inventory and how many of those actually went pending, meaning that they received an offer. So if we dissect this information, that actually means that we still only have less than 1 month's supply of inventory compared to how many homes are going on the market. Now, this is again for the month of May. I think this is actually going to change drastically. I could see that inventory easily climb to 2.0, 2.5 once we get June's data. Once we see how many homes came on the market, how many homes went under contract and actually sell, I think that number is going to change drastically over the next couple of months. In Utah, climbing mortgage rates in April pushed the median monthly mortgage payment up by almost $1,000, up from $1,629 from April of 2021 to $2,256 last month, which was a 56% jump. And that was before the Federal Reserve's latest 0.75% rate increase announced Wednesday, the biggest single hike since 1994. As a result, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate topped 6%, its highest level since before the 2008 financial crisis, up from just 3% at the start of the year. I actually talked to my lender this morning. He said, hey, the par rate, which is kind of just the average base rate for a borrower with a good credit score and some money down, is actually sitting at 6.5%. So it's actually higher than what they're showing here for the number of just 6%. It's really, really difficult to get an interest rate under 6%. It can be done, but it's going to cost you. So that's actually something that's a little bit that has changed in just the last couple of days. Housing experts here have predicted rising rates will cause the Utah market to slow from what's been a 2-year frenzy, but that doesn't mean a bubble is about to burst and home prices are about to fall. We've talked about this a lot on the channel. I think a lot of people are saying this. You know, some people are on one side saying, oh, the market's going to crash. Other people are on the other side saying, no, the market's fine. But for what this article is saying, and even actually a lot of these other articles from these expert economists, you know, they're all saying, hey, just because this is going on doesn't mean that the housing market's going to crash. We might see prices come down a little bit, but we're not going to see this big bubble crash like we saw, 14, 15 years ago now, back in 2007, 2008. Experts continue to remind us that Utah and the nation still face a housing shortage that's in large part contributed to home price increases that have only accelerated amid the home-hungry frenzy that was sparked amid the COVID-19 pandemic, as many Americans set free by remote work reevaluated their lives and decided to sell, buy, or move. If we look at this area here, home sales across the U.S. were 8.5% lower than in May of 2021. However, sales are still up 5.8% over April of this year. So sales are up month over month, but looking at May of last year, home sales are actually down, which is to be expected with the rising inventory and rising interest rates. Coming down here, affordability remains a concern, but home buyers are regaining some control, which has been long overdue. Buyers are actually starting to gain back some of that control and actually have leverage throughout the process. We're seeing buyers get homes for under the asking price. We're seeing them negotiate for repairs, or if an appraisal comes in low, we're seeing them negotiate for that. We're seeing that buyers are getting a lot more of that negotiating power and that leverage in the process. So this is really actually important because this is going to be really critical for a healthy real estate market that can sustain this for the long term. The US's median home sales price of $439,000 grew 1.2% over April's $425,000 and was 13.2% higher than the $380,000 median price in May of 2021. Now that kind of wraps up the article. I really wanted to highlight this last part here because we did see home prices grow 1.2% from April into May. And I want to actually jump over here to our market statistics and actually take a look at this as well. Now, if we actually take a look at the latest data here from June, you can see that the median sales price has actually come down from $538,000 to $528,000. This is a pretty big change here. We've seen it come down $10,000, which is almost as much as it went up the month prior to that, right? In April, going from April to May. So we've had the number of sales decrease. The median list price has come down slightly. That doesn't mean that the market has dropped substantially. It just means that more of the homes that are at that lower price point are probably selling, which I think is realistic and reasonable. There's less $1 million homes that are selling on the market in today's market. And I think that's also what's causing the median price to come down. Now, the thing that I'm really looking at here personally is what the listing price is to the sales price. And you can see here we're still sitting at 101%, which means homes are still selling above the asking price in a lot of cases, but the number of sales is down substantially. This is because there's more inventory on the market. A lot of buyers have dropped out of the market and interest rates have gone up. So the number of sales is down. I think that here in June, we might finish the month at 3,400 closings, which is still pretty low. June of last year, we actually saw almost 5,000 closings. So this is pretty substantial information here. This is something you're gonna wanna know about. It's good to keep an eye on the market. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing in real estate, or even building with a builder, make sure to reach out to me. My information will be here on the screen. You can call, text, or email anytime. I'd love to chat with you about the type of home and lifestyle that you're looking for so we can help you make a smart financial decision in this shifting market. Depending on your situation, it may still make sense to purchase. It might make sense to wait and see what happens over the next 3, 6, 9 months. But either way, let's have a discussion about that and see what makes the most sense for you. With that said, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.